catches, the NFL is in fact making changes. NFL Vice President Troy Vincent says the committee plans to change parts of the rule when it comes to going to the ground, as well as the slight movement of the ball within the receiver's hands. CC, what's your reaction to these changes?
Well, I could say I initially was not very, very happy about it, but in search of, and I had to listen to Roger and a bunch of other people that Roger Goodell. I had to listen to him and other people on the committee, and they did have a tremendous influence on changing my overall view of them potentially changing the rule. And the reason why was because it wasn't like they just wanted to change the rule. They just really want to make the game better for fans. All right? They believe that the pros will adjust. When they change the illegal contact rule or targeting rule, the players have adjusted to that. And the new rule, if the fans want it, if it's going to be more entertaining, and the way they went about it. They looked at all the plays, and we've done this several times. So I've been fortunate enough to be on the committee that decides this. But when they looked at it, they went backwards compared to us looking at 50 plays and saying, is this a catch? Is this not a catch? It was more of, would you like this to be a catch?
And how can we adjust the rules to make this a catch?
Right. Should this be a catch in the game? Would the fans want this to be a catch? So very seldom do you ever see rule changes where they're trying to help the fan and help the product that the fan is seeing on the field. And the catch, no catch rule, it's not about the players. It's really about the fans and their judgment of it, and Roger being a fan of football. So trying to make it more simple, because as you can see, this ball is in my hand, but I still have control of it. So now once a guy catches the ball, because of their skill level, can this ball still move and them still have possession of it? And that is, yes, I can understand that. And we have to build and embrace technology. When you have all the different angles and all the replays, you know that's going to come in play. So if we have the judgment this ball moves anything, any little bit, that it's not going to be a catch, you're going to be taking away a lot of spectacular plays that guys are making, taking away value from the game that the fans. The other part of it is going to the ground.
That's the part I want you to explain to the audience.
I mean, that part's going to be eliminated. They're going to make it simpler, so that part you don't have to worry about. So
how do you make it simpler?
It doesn't have to qualify as a catch, them surviving the ground. Okay. If they've had the other two elements, being control and time, being time and 2 feet or one body part, then it would be a catch. That part, as far as surviving the ground, would be eliminated from it.
Let me let the audience know, as it is written currently, pre-change, if you are going to the ground, the catch process essentially has to start totally anew once you hit the ground. Like, yes. That's what happened with Jesse James. It wasn't that he went to the ground. It was that once he goes to the ground, it doesn't matter that he had what I would have called possession pre-going to the ground. It was he got possession while going to the ground, so none of that's possession. He now hits the ground, doesn't have possession. It's a wrap for him. If in that play, once he hits the ground, the ball never comes loose and he rolls over, that would have been a catch. Yes. He survives the ground and then rolls over. The Dez Bryant play, similarly, he's going to the ground. To your eye, it looks like he has possession, but by the way the rule is written, you can't.
By the letter of the rule.
You cannot legally, according to the rule the way it is written now, or the way it was written as of last night, we'll see how they change it, you cannot actually have possession until you have gone to the ground fully and then made your football move.
So would that Jesse James catch have been ruled a catch?
Yes, that would have been a catch.
Under the new, the way we're going to change it.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Because they're going to the ground, and same with the Dez Bryant play.
Sure.
Because he clearly had control of the football, but he didn't survive the ground.
Right. And the way the rule was written, neither one of those should have been catches. But when you look back to the game and the way they did it, and Troy Vincent leading up that group there with all operations at the NFL office, do we want these plays in the game? Do we want Dez Bryant to catch that ball? We do. Do we want Jesse James to catch that ball? No, we do. So in changing the rule, those plays would be added to fans overall. But listen, pump your brakes a little bit. We're going to go through a growing period.
Yes.
Because our eyes got to adjust to the game. And, you know, unless there's indisputable evidence, you're not going to be able to go to replay either.
Well, that is going to be the forgotten part of what Troy said yesterday. And that is the part that I personally like the most, which is they are going to try to re-emphasize to officials what your call on the field was is the written gospel,
Yes.
barring something
Call
obvious.
it with conviction.
Call it with conviction, and if upon replay it is glaringly obvious you got it wrong, then change it.
Well, what do you mean if it is obvious on replay? Do they have to go to replay?
No. So
How
the
are
way
they seeing
what
the
was
replay?
happening this year, I felt very often, was there was a play was called on the field of catch. And then by your 7th replay in super slow-mo from a 3rd angle, you see, oh, there may have been a bobble.
Right. It gets challenged. It gets challenged by the coaches.
Challenged, or if it's on a
Right, but the
scoring
refs
play.
aren't doing that. The coaches are doing
No.
that.
What the refs were doing, in my eyes, was almost looking for reasons to overturn it.
Oh, okay.
And what Troy said yesterday is, we are going to go
Back to the old standard.
which is the call on the field. You need, remember, incontrovertible video evidence. The most important word there is incontrovertible. No, if the call on the field was a catch or, by the way, an incompletion, if we are going to switch it, we need it to be clear to everyone. What we can't have is a call switched that people are then arguing about.
Right.
We can have a call stand that people say, it should have been overturned. What we can't have is that you maybe got it right on the field,
Right.
use replay to get it wrong. Because
Right.
that, as a fan, you're talking about the fans.
Yes.
There's nothing more frustrating as a fan watching a game than feeling like replay screwed me.
Right.
Like the refs got it right, and now technology, now it's different if replay, okay, the refs clearly got it wrong. Replay helped them get it right, even if that goes against you.
Just quickly, this is now the second time we're having a rule change, right? A couple years ago, they tweaked the catch
Yeah.
rule just a little bit. Are you happy with where we're going now? Is this something that could stand in the NFL? No, Nick's laughing.
He's
Got some more
accepting of it.
issues.
CeCe's done a good job of accepting this.
Right. There's been I love this game. And I think that when you make adjustments to make the game better for the people watching the game, it's not going to hurt the history of the game. It's not going to hurt how the game is played. No, it's only going to enhance fans. We're trying to get people to fall in love with football, not fall out of love with football. We shouldn't have 4 or 5 calls every Monday and the fans don't know what they're watching. All right. They spend their hard-earned money to watch this game. They should know the product. They should be able to sit there and be like, that's a catch. That's not a catch. All right. And so I think that will keep the NFL one of the most popular sports, acquiescing to the fan, and they've done a good job. Raj, you know.
Nicely said. Big R. Right? Hey, coming up, how do the Celtics keep winning without Kyrie Irving in the lineup? Next on First Things First.
Some of the ways the other team